Hi everybody, welcome to the podcast. Today I decided to tell you a little bit of everything that is in my toolbox, my equipment, my software and everything. But it didn't all start out, wanting to just tell you about these things. In fact, I had no intention of telling you any of these things. I have a whole list of things to do that have nothing to do with sharing this with you. But something happened that made me go, okay, I really should get on that. And I'm gonna tell you exactly what happened. So for the past, I'm gonna say 4 months or so, I have been an affiliate for Amazon. This is one of the ways that I tell everybody to start monetizing their podcast or monetizing their blog or whatever it is to just go to Amazon Partners, create an account, and that way you can start creating affiliate links for products that you're gonna be talking about anyway. Right? So you might as well get some commission for being basically a salesperson for these products, right? So Amazon is a good one, but the truth is that most big brands right now have an associates or an affiliate program. So all you have to do is literally go to Google, type the name of the brand and type affiliate program next to it, and the partners program will appear. Okay, so that's the best way really for you as you're starting out to monetize your audience, to monetize what is it you do, because you're gonna be using and talking about these products anyway. So as of the past 4 months or so, I have been an affiliate of Amazon. And there's rules that you have to use the exact links that they give you, that you can't strip anything out, that you have to use them on your blog or your website. But here's the deal, I wasn't using them on my website. I was just using them on my podcasting classes that I do through podcastingclassesinboston.com. I was using them through going live on my group and telling you, hey, this is what I'm using right now. If anybody asked me, I had created a short link for people to swipe my microphone, inacoveney.com/mymic, MYMIC, but you have to spell Coveney right, it ends in EY, right? So that's how I was using them. Well, Amazon didn't like that. They thought that I was breaking their terms of service. So they canceled my account and they sent me this email that according to them is totally descriptive, right? It tells them you're not using the tags on your links on your website. But the emphasis was on you're not using tags. And I'm like, I don't know what that means. I'm going to your website, I'm creating links using your website, like I'm giving links that you gave me, and then you cancel my account. Why? So I tried to go back and forth with them over email to try to resolve this. And the email that I got back, the first email I got back was exactly the same notice that I got when the account was canceled. So I replied saying, hi, I don't think you answered my question. I understand, like that's exactly the original notice, but can you please forward this to someone who can answer my question about what you mean by tags? I'm creating the links using your software. So are you telling me that if I use the short links, it doesn't keep the tags? What are you saying? Please answer me. And then I got an email that I got today or last night. This is what triggered the whole thing today. I got an email last night that said, I read your question and I believe that the answer that our previous rep gave you was accurate. We cannot reinstate your account. We're not gonna explain further. And we're like, basically any response to this from you is going to go unanswered. Have a nice day. Did we help you? Yes or no? Give us your feedback. I'm like, So the good news is that actually Amazon allows you to reapply. And they even give you a new shop name. I mean, it's almost like creating a brand new person, still with your own business account, but it allows you to do that. So I created a new account, new tax information, is basically starting over. But I'm like, I really don't want to fall into the same thing all over again. So I went and I Googled it. And I think what I was doing wrong was that I didn't have the links on my website. So if they were to audit my website, they were not gonna find those links anywhere, especially because I was masking them by making them easy, by going to inacoveney.com/mymic, for example. So I'm like, okay, we're gonna nip this in the bud right now. And like I said, this wasn't even on my list, on my really long list of things to do. This was not one of them. Okay, so I'm like, but I needed to go get my hair done. If you guys are looking at me on video right now, you can see I have new highlights, new length, right? Hair has changed, right? Today, this morning, I didn't have any meetings and I'm going to get a haircut. So excuse me. Sometimes I need to get a haircut too. And I hadn't gotten a haircut in a year. I hadn't gotten any highlights in 4 years or something crazy. Today, I went to get my hair done. So I brought my computer with me and I started working on my own toolbox page, right? And I'm not just an affiliate for Amazon. I'm an affiliate for iPage, which is a web host, Bluehost, which is a web host, and I explained to you like why I use each one. I am an affiliate for the software that I use to edit videos. I'm an affiliate for that. I'm an affiliate for a whole bunch of different things. And if you're watching the video right now, because if you listen to a podcast, you can. But if you're watching the video right now, I'm wearing my hashtag Kajabi hero shirt because I was just taking some pictures for this page, right? Kajabi being the system that I use for my sales funnel, for my landing pages, for my mailing list. So what I decided to do was, okay, you know what? This goes live today because I got stuff to do that has nothing to do with this, but I'm solving this right now. So what I did was I went on my website and I created a page, and you can get to it directly if you go to inacoveney.com and you spell Coveney right, if you remember the EY at the end. I'm sorry that I say that a lot, just like I want it to be second nature to you guys. Like when I was a project manager, I would tell people I prefer to hear, oh my God, Ina, I got it. I prefer to hear that than to hear, you never told me that. Oh, as a project manager, trust me, I prefer one versus the other. So I will tell you that as many times as it takes for you to remember that Coveney ends in EY. All right, so if you go to my website, at the top right, now there's a link called My Toolbox, okay? And what I'm about to go through with you in this episode is every single one of the items that I put in there, why I chose it, how often I use it, because I never want you to feel like I just have an online shop of crap just for the sake of making money, which is not the case. I encourage my clients to sell products this way. If you're gonna be advertising for a company, you better get commission for it, right? Otherwise, go with another company that will actually pay you commission for it. So I wanted to tell you everything that I use, that I have been using for years, and now I am an affiliate for them. So if that bothers you, feel free to stop listening right now, but I will warn you, every single link that is on my website, I get a little kickback, and guess what? I really appreciate it that you guys choose to support me in this way, and that if you do have a choice in mics and you like mine, that you will use my link. It makes sense. It makes sense to me. It makes me feel good. It helps me to do this kind of videos for you, to do this kind of trainings for you. So thank you for listening this far. I'm gonna get into all the tools that I use and why I use them, okay? And by the way, how much money they give me for each referral has nothing to do with why I use them. Okay, I did not scour the web for who's gonna give me the best deal on affiliates. I'm using products that I believe in, that I like, and that I've used for years. So why don't we start with equipment? And when you go to my toolbox, by the way, I created a short link too for that, inacoveney.com/mytoolbox, takes you straight there. And by the way, go to the page on a computer so you can see the fun videos that I created. I didn't create a video for every single item, but for some I did. And you know what? It was fun, okay? Yeah, I wish I had like outtakes of the one that I did for the microphone, where I'm like launching into the microphone from my kitchen to the front door. Yeah, that was fun. It was only a few takes, but I was winded by the end. So anyway, you won't know what I'm talking about unless you actually go to the website and see it. But let's start with podcasting microphone. I'm gonna tell you the story. Ever since I started my first podcast, that was back in 2012, I got myself a microphone that somebody else recommended to me, which is a Blue Snowball. In fact, I donated, I gave one of our audience members that microphone as part of a masterclass. And wouldn't you know it, I found the other microphone that I got two Blue Snowballs, because when I started doing podcasts, it was back in 2012. There wasn't a lot of, web support for it or software support for it. And I would carry two computers around with me to do interviews. I needed two microphones and I needed two computers to record it. So I had two Blue Snowballs. One of them went into the forgotten land of my basement, and the other one I kept using. And it was good and everything. and I'll tell you what happened with that. But first of all, I just wanted to finish my thought that I found the other one. So stay tuned, because if I do a challenge or a masterclass coming up in the future, I may give away that microphone. So if you are thinking of getting into podcasting or doing cool videos and you want better quality of sound, would you like a free microphone? If you do, great, stay tuned, because I'm definitely raffling that one out too. So they're good microphones, but I had to learn how to use them. You have to be very, very close to the microphone. You can't be moving your head around, and it just got, it got very difficult just carrying 2 computers and 2 microphones around. So then my husband, in his great wisdom, bought me a recorder that journalists use, right? It's a really good quality recorder. So I started using that, and I used that recorder to record my podcast because the sound was amazing up until, I don't know, a month ago or 2 months ago, up until August. In August, I went to a conference for podcasters, and I was in the green room because I got the VIP ticket, so I was hanging out with like all these high level people, and I started talking to one guy who turned out to be a sound engineer. And I was telling him, like, okay, I'm gonna take advantage of this. I'm gonna ask him, what microphone should I use, because I've been using my recorder and I really feel like I should get a real microphone. So what do I do? Should I upgrade to the Yeti? That's the one that I was thinking of upgrading to. And he's like, no way, you're gonna get this one, and I'm pointing at it right now. You're gonna get this one. And the other podcaster that was at the table, she's like, that's the one I have. And then later on, I was following one of my favorite comedians, Andrea Savage, and she just started a podcast and she uses this microphone. It's only $60. There's microphones out there, guys, that I see other people use that are like $3,000, right? So $60, no brainer. So if you go to my website, that's the first one that I have in there. The podcasting microphones, it doesn't tell you this whole story, so you have just been entertained. But now I upgraded, and now you can have it too. So let's go to webcam. Forever, I just used my computer's camera, and then I realized how crappy it was. So I switched to using my phone for lives. And if you're looking at the video of this, I'm recording on my phone right now. But when I'm on my computer, I can't rely on the computer camera because it's not prepared to handle like low lighting. And most of the time I'm recording in my office when it's dark, in after dark, get it? So I got myself a Logitech camera, and it's been amazing. Like, the quality is super clear, even if it's dark out. So I put it in there too for you guys, and that one runs at the like $63 range. I want to make sure I get this right. $63, not too bad. Your Yeti was 200 plus. $60, and everybody told me to get it. So yeah, so everybody who hasn't bought the Yeti yet, buy this one. Okay. Oh, and by the way, if you're not watching the website at the same time, you should be. So if you're listening to the podcast and you're driving, don't do this. But if you are watching the video on a computer or a phone, just go to inakovany.com/mytoolbox and follow along. I'm going in order, okay? And all the links are there. Next, the podcast recorder that I told you about, that's actually really good for being on the road, okay? Like interviewing other people, because it has multiple channels. And that means that it has 2 crossing microphones so that the sound can be super clear on one side and the other side. And when you go and take that audio into a software editor, it splits it into 2 tracks. So it makes it a lot easier to edit things out that may have been on the other person's side but not yours. And it also has great quality sound. This one runs around $240. So if you're gonna get a microphone and do your interviews mostly on Zoom, you're not gonna need this. But if you're gonna be doing a lot of one-on-one videos, one-on-one interviews in person, this is what you want, okay? Something super portable, this is it. So it has a micro SD, not the micro, the mini SD, and you can just plop into your computer and download the files. I used it for years, and I think it's out of nostalgia. I just needed to tell you guys that this exists, that this is a thing, and it served me for a long time. It's possible that you don't even need it though. I don't use it anymore now that I got myself a good microphone that I can record on. I just don't use that anymore, but I wanted to let you guys know about it. It has a very special place in my heart. Next, Bluetooth headset. I started using this so long ago that I don't even remember how like this came into my life, but it's one of those things that I give this as gifts to people. Like my mother, you should picture my mother, okay, doing the dishes while having earbuds on, but they're not wireless, like wired earbuds to her laptop, which is right next to the drying rack, right? That right there, if she moved 1 more inch to the right, that computer would come falling down, crashing down on the floor. So I got her these, and she said it's still the best gift I ever gave her. So I use this. Couple reasons why I think it's awesome, and I don't just use any other Bluetooth headset. Number one is because it not only has a Bluetooth connection. I don't know if this is if the video is going to work for you guys here. But it has a Bluetooth connection, and it also has a USB connection. So I can connect it to the computer via Bluetooth, but if that's not working for some reason, because sometimes, it's Bluetooth, like it can be connected to another device, you want to get this done quickly, it comes with a little USB key that I just plug into wherever I want to plug it into, and it automatically works. So I really liked that feature. And by the way, we have bought so many of these that I had to put a sticker. This is my husband's, right? I had to put a little Batman sticker on his. Mine has a heart sticker to tell them apart. And my mother's doesn't have a sticker. So when she visits, there's 3 of these in the house. So if you're thinking about getting one of these, the only thing is that I don't really use it for doing videos or anything, because it has the headset part on top of it, but it is super comfortable, so I can go for a walk with this, and the audio is really good. So if you're being interviewed for a podcast yourself, this is a really good way to do it if you don't have a good quality microphone. This Bluetooth headset runs about $60, and it's the Logitech H800 Bluetooth headset. Oh, and by the way, if I didn't say it before, I may have to edit this to tell you guys what it is. The microphone is the Samsung Q2U. This webcam is the Logitech HD Pro webcam. This recorder is the Zoom H4n handy recorder. This Bluetooth headset is the Logitech H800 Bluetooth headset. And it runs about $60. It seems like everything I buy is like $60. It's not really that much. The next thing is my mobile tripod. I'm using it right now, and I'm just sitting at a chair. It just keeps my phone steady wherever I go, and it's super tall. It goes up to, I believe, 3 or 4 feet. No, it can't be 4 feet because I'm 5 feet tall, and it's not just a foot below me. It might go up to 3 feet. So I can put it up on a chair, on a table. It can give me any angle. It locks. And it's been great. It also has a connector, like a standard connector for you to connect your camera or any other device on it. So it's been great. It's treated me very well. And this one is only $22. It's the Out Solid EP, like Out Solid EP, but all one word. Out Solid EP, selfie stick and tripod. And the link is right there. Okay. Next, I get this question asked a lot, which is my ring light. In fact, I was showing everybody what my setup was before I did a workshop last week, and one person said, that looks expensive, like the entire setup that I had. And I'm like, actually it wasn't. The ring light that I use is the K-Shio, I'm gonna spell that, the letter K, S-H-I-O-E. Don't know how to pronounce it, I'm so sorry. K-Shio 14-inch dimmable LED ring light. It's $60. I'm not lying to you when I say all of this stuff is like individually, each one is $60. It adds up. Obviously, I didn't buy all this stuff all at once. And this one has been really good. What I like about it is that it has an adapter, so I can either put my phone in the center of the ring light, or I can put my camera, my Logitech camera, in the spot. So I can do either or, which is wonderful because I never know if I'm going to be using the computer or if I'm going to be using my phone. If it's a Facebook Live, it has to happen on the phone if it's a broadcast. So I need that in there so I can get awesome lighting. Also, it has 2 filters. like a yellow filter, which is kind of soft, and a white filter, which is a little bit harsher. I used to use the white one, but I didn't like my face just looked all washed out, so I started using the warm one, and I like it a little bit better. So I'm gonna be playing with both and see which one I stick with, especially at night, because it makes a huge impact on your face. So that's the one that I use. Super happy with it. It goes really high, like it stands on a tripod on the floor. It's behind my desk and it goes up a lot. Like it can keep moving. I think I have it in the minimal setting. Again, you can find that link in the website. Okay, this one you might not even need. I'm gonna tell you that right now, but my computer, and I'm gonna tell you which computer I use too. My computer that I got recently, the speakers are just not awesome. It's not a computer that is made for you to be blaring a sound system, right? So I really wanted to be able to hear my clients, to be able to hear everything that I'm doing online. I do a lot of video online. I wanted to be able to hear it really clear and with really good quality. So I got myself a set of USB powered speakers. What does it mean to be USB powered? It doesn't mean that I plug them into the USB port and then they immediately work. It means that they don't need charging. The charging happens through the USB. So it's not like they don't need charging. They need charging, but it's done through the USB on your computer. The way that you listen to it, the way that the sound comes out is through a regular headphone jack. So it plugs into your headphone jack for you to use the speakers, which means that you can't have headphones on and the speakers on at the same time, which kind of makes sense, right? I don't think you would want to have both of those on at the same time anyway, but that's how you listen to it, through the headphone jack, and then it charges through USB. They've been lovely. I love how they look. I got the white ones. These are the Creative Pebble 2.0, and the link is in the website. These were, get this, 20 bucks. You guys, I don't mess around. I don't buy things super expensive unless I absolutely have to. If there's a good deal out there, I'm gonna find it, and I'm super happy with these guys. So I created a little boomerang video for them on the website. This is one of the items that has a video. Next, we have my computer. I actually never thought that people would ask me what kind of computer I use, because this is such a personal choice. I'm a PC, my husband uses Mac, right? You may use a Mac, you may use Apple products. I don't use Apple products. It's not like I don't endorse them, I just don't use them, so I can't speak about them. I have an Android phone and I have a laptop, I have a PC. So somebody asked me recently what kind of computer I have because they need to get a new one, and I'm gonna tell you something. Little behind the scenes kind of stuff. I have a computer science degree. Forever, I built my own computers, not by hand. I mean, on the Dell website, I would pick the RAM, the ROM, everything that I wanted in the computer. I would pick myself, the video card, everything I would pick myself. But I happen to have a computer engineer husband who actually stays abreast of all the stuff happening in the tech industry, and who actually knows what the best deals for what is out there is. So I actually had my husband go, I told him, hey, I need a new computer, go find me one. He asked me what my requirements were. I told him I need a 17-inch screen because I don't use monitors at home. I only use my computer. And I need a full keyboard, okay, so that it's on the right side of the keyboard, because like I said, I don't have a docking station and I don't use a separate keyboard. So it's important to me to have a dial pad and a 17-inch screen, and that it's light because I carry it around quite a lot. It's my only computer, it's the computer I use. So he got me this one. It is the LG Gram 17-inch. But if 17 inches is too big for you, because it's a big computer, okay, it's big. It's like 17 inches is big. You can get the 15 inches. So I included the link also on the website about the 15 inches, but you should be aware that the 15-inch, because it's smaller, and if you think smaller screen, think smaller keyboard, right? Because if you think of a laptop, they fall right on top of each other, so you're not gonna have a big keyboard and a small screen. They kind of go hand in hand. So if you like having the dial pad on the right side, you're not gonna get that on a 15-inch laptop. Okay, you're only gonna get that in the 17-inch. So if you don't care about having the dial pad on the right side of the keyboard, don't worry about it, just get the 15-inch. The difference in price is great, okay? Like great as in big. This one, the LG Gram 17-inch, is around $1,500. The 15-inch is around $950. So it's like a $500 difference for having the full keyboard and the screen. Those happen to be my requirements, so there was nothing my husband could do other than find a deal. So I'm gonna tell you something right now, and this is totally not something that is gonna be evergreen, right? This is something that's gonna become obsolete like now, but I'm just gonna tell you where to find good deals. My husband got me the 17-inch at Costco. He got, like, we didn't have a Costco membership. It was cheaper to sign up for a Costco membership and go and pick up this laptop for $900 than it was to buy it on Amazon for $1,500. So there's ways to get better deals, guys, okay? Just because something is expensive doesn't mean that you have to get it full price. All right, but it's a really good quality laptop. You know what the biggest impact has been? The quality of the image compared to my old laptop. It's like, I can't believe I could see stuff in my old laptop. I can see things here. So why don't we dive into software? And this gets into Wendy's question. Wendy, I'm not ignoring your question. I saw it right there. You asked, is there a simple list of things one needs for a podcast, including software? Come to this page, inacoveney.com/my-toolbox. Will tell you everything that I use. But guess what? To start a podcast, you don't really need anything fancy, okay? Get yourself a video editor, which is video or audio editor, and there's free ones out there. Do your research, because I don't use any free ones. I can't recommend any of them, okay? But they are out there. So find them, use them, get comfortable with it. And I'll tell you the same thing that I tell everybody. The more you pay, the higher quality your stuff will be. And people have been spoiled with really highly produced, really good quality podcasts out there. So it's really important that you have really good quality sound, really good quality editing. All right, but the editing it's almost like if somebody gave me, which happened in the past, if somebody gave me a professional camera, I would have no idea how to get good photos out of it, but a good photographer would. It's sort of like that with editing. If you learn your stuff and you can hear when something sounds good and when something doesn't, that makes you a good editor, and it really won't matter which tool you use. But tools, if you pay more, they'll be easier to use. There'll be more support for them online. So it's easier to build things on things that are better supported. So I put in here in my list the software that I use. It's not a cheap one. It's one that I bought back in 2012 when I started doing this, because my husband saw that I was doing video editing on my Windows Movie Maker, and he's like, there's gotta be a better way to do this. So he got this for me for my birthday, okay? Wendy, oh no, love, I appreciate this because you're answering my question. Oh, I'm so glad, Wendy. Thank you so much for the feedback. I'm glad this is helping. So, but yeah, there's free editors out there, and just get yourself a microphone, and this one is just a great one for $60. Okay, going back down through software. The first thing that I have in here is my choice for website host. As you guys may know, I have been building websites professionally as my side hustle since 2011, right? So building websites on WordPress is one of my magic powers, right? It's my expert skill is to build WordPress sites. So when I started, I signed up with a host. When I first started, I signed up with a host that was cheap and that was giving me unlimited everything. And that host was iPage, ipage.com. No hyphen, no anything, just iPage, like iPhone, but iPage, ipage.com. And what I discovered after I started to make websites for clients is that iPage may not be the most reliable. It may not be, the one that is going to give you the fastest websites. It really may not be that. But the one thing that it has going for it is that it allowed me to spin off as many WordPress sites as I wanted. So when I was making websites for clients, sometimes I wanted to test something out. So I would need a new WordPress installation to try something, to install a new theme, to see if this would work or not. So, and not to mention that every time that I came up with a business idea, I would spin up a website because that was my magic power. That's what I did. It's almost like, somebody out there who thinks of a new idea and they create a podcast for every single one of their ideas. There's somebody out there doing that. I did that with websites. So iPage allowed me, and still does to this day, allows me to create multiple WordPress sites. That is not the usual need out there. So when I created websites for clients, I went with a more reliable host that had excellent support. And that one is Bluehost. So I am actually an affiliate for both, because I can't come here to my own website and tell you, hey, you should be using Bluehost if that's not what I use myself. So I decided I'm gonna give you both. I'm gonna give you those two options. Bluehost, that's where I build my client sites, because it is reliable, it has great support, it has everything that you need, and it's very, very easy to use, okay? And if you get malware on your WordPress site, which happens a lot, right? Happens to the best of them. It even happens to Bank of America. It will happen to you. Bluehost has a really cool feature where you just send them a message and you tell them, please scan my site for malware. And then they'll tell you, if we find malware, we will take your site down temporarily until you clean it up. And then you say, I approve, that's okay. And they send you a list of files that you need to remove from your website, which you can do through the backend, through FTP. So it's really easy to keep your site clean. Just go to Bluehost and tell them, can you please run a malware search through my website, and they'll do it, and then you clean it up, and then you're done. And they help you clean it up too. So Bluehost is where I tell my clients and where I build every single one of my client sites. But I can't quit you, iPage. Bluehost and all the others only give you one WordPress installation. And why is that bad? Not only for developers, not only for people like me, but because if you want to revamp your website, you actually have to take your website down or put up a maintenance mode page while you revamp the site. But if you had multiple WordPress installations, you could work on your new website while the old one is still live. So it was just a deal breaker for me to not be able to spin off as many websites as I wanted. So I still am on iPage. In fact, I put my new website on a completely different host back in May of 2018. I put on a completely different host because of the reasons I'm telling you. iPage is not gonna be the most reliable. But then I went back to iPage. Why? Because that new host didn't allow me to have multiple WordPress installations. So when I wanted to revamp my website, I had to do it on a different host. So I started building it on iPage, and I just kept it there. So if you go to inacoveney.com right now, that's an iPage site. Okay, so I thought I would just give you the option, and I'm giving you both links right there to sign up with both. Okay, if you have any questions, let me know. It's not straightforward. Why would I recommend something for clients and not for myself? I just told you why. I just can't quit you, iPage. Okay, next, video editing. We just have 2 more to go, and then I have to go pick up my kids. Video editing. I use Vegas Movie Studio Platinum. This used to be owned by Sony, and now it's owned by Magix. Like Magic, but instead of a C, it's an X. Vegas Movie Studio has just been really good to me. I'm gonna tell you one thing. You don't have to pay a lot of money for your software. This one is on the pricey side, right? This one is definitely not free, but it's been good to me. I like it. The only thing I can't do in it is green screen effect, and I haven't really had much of a need to do that anyway. So find a software that you like, start cheap so that you can become a good editor. Just like I was telling you, like a photographer needs to know how to use the camera, right? Before they go and buy a $10,000 camera. Same thing I'm gonna tell you about editing. Become a good editor and then invest in a better software. But if you want to know the one that I use this for my videos and I use this for my podcast, Vegas Movie Studio Platinum. All right, and the link is right there for you guys. And the last one, we have reached to the last item in my toolbox, which is Kajabi. This is where I have my marketing funnel. What does that mean? It keeps my mailing list. It keeps my landing pages. Every time that I have a masterclass, a challenge, anything for you guys to sign up for. If you go to inacoveney.com/join, that takes you into my mailing list. You'll see that's a Kajabi landing page. I love how it looks. It is so simple to use. And because I'm more of a developer kind of person, it allows me to change the code of the pages. So if there's something that I don't like, I can go into the code and move it. So I like that flexibility too. So if you're not a developer, but you have somebody who helps you with the technical stuff, I'm telling you, they are going to appreciate the ability to do CSS, to change the HTML, to change things around, okay? I love that feature in Kajabi. But I'm gonna tell you why I went with Kajabi. Because this is not what I recommend to my clients to start. When I have a client, I tell them, get yourself a free MailChimp account. You can do a lot of the stuff we're gonna do right now. You can do it through MailChimp for free, all right? I do not tell people to immediately go to Kajabi because Kajabi is pricey. Kajabi for the year membership, I don't remember exactly the price right now, and I'm sure by the time you listen to this, it's going to change, but it's in the $1,000 range for the year. Okay, so why did I start out with Kajabi? Why didn't I start with MailChimp? The reason is simple. When I started out, I was gung-ho on getting an online course set up. MailChimp doesn't do that. Kajabi does. So I knew that somebody else was using Kajabi, and I looked into it, I saw their interface, and I was really attracted to not having to have my mailing list, my checkout pages, my landing pages, my checkout, my like shopping cart, all that stuff. I wanted to be in one place. Why would I have it in separate places? Why would I have ClickFunnels and Teachable and MailChimp all in different places? Why would I do that to myself? I wanted everything together. So to me, it was a no-brainer. I'm just gonna invest in Kajabi and go with it. So now I'm a Kajabi hero because I reached, I believe, as soon as you reach the $10,000 mark, or either the $1,000 or $10,000 of income into Kajabi, you get a nice t-shirt and you get a nice notebook, which I do use, my Kajabi Hero notebook. So they give you a little bit of swag and tell you, hey, tell people about it, right? So I'm telling you about it because this is what I use. I don't see myself changing this in anytime soon. But yes, I do tell my clients to use MailChimp first. Why? It's free and you can do everything that I do in Kajabi except for the online courses. You can do all of that in MailChimp for free. So why wouldn't you? And when you're ready to move to Kajabi or to something bigger, you can always just export your list and import it. Kajabi will help you move your list from one place to another. Okay? So that is basically what I had, but I know that Wendy, who's watching here live, had another question. A side question. I have WordPress, but have not been liking it for a while. Thinking of Squarespace, but not sure. What is better out there? I'm a WordPress developer, so clearly I am biased. I have never used Squarespace. I can just tell you that not liking your website has more to do with how you set it up, what theme you selected, what your technical skill is to modify it and to make it look the way that you want. Because every single website that I have ever made has been on WordPress and my clients have been super happy and super satisfied. My own website is in WordPress, so I can't really speak to Squarespace versus WordPress. I can just tell you that with WordPress, which I get for $3 a month by buying into one of these hosts, Bluehost or iPage is really, really cheap, like $1 a month. I would never pay Squarespace, WordPress.com, which is different from the WordPress I'm talking about. I would never pay them what they want me to pay per month to keep their services and for them to keep my site up. I would just never do it because WordPress is so cheap. WordPress is in fact free. So when I tell you that WordPress is cheap, that's not what I mean. I mean WordPress is free. All you need is to sign up with a host, and hosts have really good plans for the first 5 years when you first sign up. It could be like $1 a month, right? Obviously you pay in advance, right? It's annualized, and then you don't pay anything for another 5 years. And by then, hopefully your business is making money and you can afford to pay what their normal rate is. But even their normal rate is a fraction of what Squarespace and Weebly and everybody else charges you for fewer features, right? They're charging you all this money because they know that you're not gonna hire somebody to make your WordPress site. You're not gonna take the time to actually go and figure this out yourself. They're banking on that. They want you because you want things to be easy. And I'm not talking about you specifically, Wendy. I'm telling you, like, their audience is, you want things to be easy, we make it easy for you. So come and pick a template and blah, blah, blah. So if you want something that is easy, that you don't have to really touch, but it's not gonna be exactly what you want, Squarespace is for you. If you know exactly what you want, and you want to get it and you don't want to pay through the nose for it, WordPress is for you, but you're going to need the help of an expert. Wendy says, I need to change from GoDaddy. Not sure how to do that. Just get yourself a new host and let GoDaddy expire. Period. Or you can call GoDaddy and try to cancel the service, but you most likely will have to incur a fee for that. GoDaddy, I don't recommend them anymore. I used to create my client sites on GoDaddy. I stopped doing that like 3 years ago. GoDaddy, their service became so terrible. They don't even have live chat 24/7. And every time that I contacted them, they tried to upsell me on something. Not helpful. One time they tried to upsell me on something for $150, and then I went to the console and I realized I could just do it myself by flicking a little switch. So I don't recommend GoDaddy anymore. They're just not the best anymore. Bluehost is what I really recommend. So you go to Bluehost or iPage if you're like me, you install WordPress, you install a theme that you like, and then you're off to the races. But it does require some technical knowledge, and there's people out there who make websites. I actually have offloaded all of my website work to someone who's in Texas. She's lovely. If anybody needs a recommendation, just let me know. You know how to find me on Facebook. I'm the only Ina Coveney, or Instagram. I'm the only Ina Coveney. Just send me a message. I'm happy to give you a recommendation for a really good web designer for WordPress with reasonable prices. So that is basically what I had. First of all, I really wanted to thank Wendy for being engaged, for asking me questions, for being here, for being interested, and for everybody else, thank you so much for listening and for watching. If you would like the links to anything that I mentioned today, it's all in my toolbox. inacoveney.com, spell Coveney right, it ends in EY, and just click on my toolbox and all of the links are there. All right, now I have to go and pick up my kids because this is the momtrepreneur life. So thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know if you have any questions by leaving a review on Apple Podcasts or by leaving a comment on the Facebook. And I will talk to you soon, guys. Thank you for watching. Yay, thank you for watching. If you like that video, remember to subscribe right here to get notified of new episodes, and don't miss the podcast version, Trailblazing Out of Corporate Life. Go look it up and subscribe. I'll see you later. Bye.